And like I said, we're supposed to live in a civilized, free society. We don't. When they can walk in, take you as a child, turn you into a killer, and then use you, abuse you, and when they're done, throw you away. It shouldn't happen. So I sit there and I start taking these puzzle pieces. Now, this fits, this don't fit. And I'm going like this till picture, and I sit back. The lady walks up to the front. The guy walks up behind me. She looks at him and smiles, says, "We've got one." And that's when it started. That is where they were weeding out who's good at this, who's good at that, who's going to be a soldier, who's going to be a psychic spy. Everybody knows that Hitler was looking for the ultimate soldier, that super soldier, ultimate warrior. Hitler was also heavily into the esoteric arts with mind control. And at that time, they started combining the two. Mind control, super soldier, ultimate warrior. They just started putting it all together into one project, and that's where they got me. My kicks in my right leg were 120 miles an hour. My punching power was well over 18 to 1,950 foot-pounds. That'll bust concrete blocks. And I put 3 rounds through the heart of a very high intelligence official. This guy grabs me by the throat, and I just snapped sideways, threw my hands palm down, just threw them down, and screamed inside my mind. The guy goes up and back. I never touched him. I look over, and there's George Jr. sitting at the bar with the Secret Service bodyguards, drunk as a skunk, with the Secret Service trying to get him to calm down. Now, that's when I snapped awake. I don't remember driving there.
Let's back up and find out exactly how you got into this program.
They wanted people who were half Native American and half Celtic, whether it be Scottish, Irish, didn't matter, as long as it's Celtic. The reason for that is that the Native Americans and the Celtics are 2 of the races on the earth that are more superposed to paranormal abilities or psi abilities. Okay? And as a matter of fact, both of these cultures practice paranormal abilities. So it's kind of genetic memory. It's in our genetic memory. Okay? And I thought that's basically what it was. Until about 2 years ago, when I found out that my father was a CIA agent. My father's been dead now for almost 15 years. I never had a clue. But with that new information, it made a lot of smaller tidbits of information and a lot of things that happened in the past. Now it all fits. Okay? Basically, what happened with me is in 1966. I was 6 years old. And both my parents loaded me up in a truck, took me to town. And I said, yeah, it's dark, it's cold, snowing. I'll never forget today, okay, because it stands out. Why are we going to a hardware store this late in the afternoon? So we go into the store, and at this time my mom and dad are like not fighting, but they're not getting along. And I've been in the store several times with my grandfather. And we go into the back. I've never been to the back. And there's a door there that if you didn't know it was there, you'd walk right by it. Mm-hmm. So we go in, and here's 6, 7 other kids about my age. And they're all sitting at these tables, like these kindergarten tables, sitting down low with the small chairs. And they all have the same thing. They look like puzzle pieces. Well, this lady comes in that did not fit. Okay, she's tall, she's elegant. The fur coat come on, this is Eastern Kentucky, okay? Don't happen, all right? And she played a very prominent role from there on, because she's in several of my memories. And she sets me down to play. She says, she gives me a stack of blocks, okay? And what they are is they're puzzle pieces. And says, make me a picture, and walks off. So I look around for my mom, and she's with a guy there who's in a suit who, again, shouldn't be there, okay? And they have a clipboard, and she's signing some papers. Now, 6 years old, I puzzled, but you don't think much of it. So I sit there, and I start taking these puzzle pieces, and this fits, this don't fit. And I'm going like this to picture, and I sit back. The lady walks up to the front. The guy walks up behind me. She looks at him and smiles, says, we've got one. And that's when it started. I was given something to drink. I remember feeling sleepy, and that's it.
So are you saying, did you go home with your parents that night?
No, I did not.
I see.
I was taken directly. This is what I found out later, because once I went to sleep, with whatever was in the drink, the Kool-Aid or soda, whatever they gave me, put me out. My next memory was at 9.5 years old.
So you have a blank in your memory right now.
Yeah. Now, I have some memories have came back, and I have bits and pieces of memories of what happened during all that. Some very vivid, some I have documentation, some are just memories that are there, okay? And then from there...
At 9 years old, why do you remember 9 years old? What happened then?
Because I had to take a stint in a hospital. A hospital here, the University of Kentucky. They did some type of procedures that no one's ever really been able to explain to me. Even as an adult, I tried to get the records, and no one will release those records to me. And from there, I had a couple of years as a kid where everything seemed okay, a lot of paranormal activity going on and all that. Then at 14, I'm gone again.
Gone to the hospital?
No, gone. Memories, gone.
Oh. Okay, so looking back, though, you basically feel that you were trained as a soldier during that time?
Yes.
Could you describe some of the training to us?
The easiest way to do that is to back up for 1 second.
Sure.
Imagine Project Talent, the people in Project Talent, being sent to school. Okay. When we're in elementary school, we're all taught the same thing. Okay. That's where the martial arts training was started. I have vivid memories of 15, 20 of us in a group with adults, and they trained us as adults. There was no kid gloves, okay? 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, you got your butt kicked off. I mean, they beat us tremendously, but we learned, okay? Once and the paranormal training started as well. Everybody, that is where they were weeding out who's good at this, who's good at that, who's going to be a soldier, who's going to be a psychic spy.
You have at this time certain like a black belt in karate or...
Even after I continued on, I took classes on my own, started a couple of studios. I hold a 5th degree black now, legitimately a 5th degree black.
In the real world,
right.
So to speak.
Right.
Now, you also said something in an interview that I read that said something about having remembered when you started teaching